Good afternoon, everybody. It is Thursday's Coaching with the Soul session at 3 on Thursdays. Welcome, 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 everybody who's watching now in person and in the future and in other places in the world later. Hey, Jen, what are you doing, lady? Hey, Laura. Energy is kicking today. So, yeah. Spirit is in this parental mood today. Yep. So, hope you're both doing well. Hope you are doing well. Hey, Jennifer. Good to see you. Bethany, how are you doing? Hey, Polly. Bethany, I haven't seen you in forever. Welcome, Polly. I love Polly D's name. Polly D, I can just get all like loud with that if I wasn't on Facebook. So like I was telling the other people who are on before you ladies, Spirit is in this parental love mood today. And you can tell by my fingers on the table that it's like energy coming out of my you-know-what. It's pretty cool. Last day for a t-shirt, I think, this year. So I decided to wear the green one because it's going to be 50 freaking degrees tomorrow and freaking snowing up north. So, hey, Sandra. So I think it's the last day for just a t-shirt and shorts until next spring, which kind of sucks, but I'm okay with it. Hey, Melanie. Thank you for joining the program. So stuff's bursting out of my chest today, so it's pretty awesome. So it's ready to come out. Hey, Bren. Thanks for joining in on the program. Like I've told everybody before, Spirit's got a lot to say. A lot of cool stuff. It's in a very parental mood today, so a lot of love and understanding and trying to get people to do what they got to do to get what they got to get. Okay? So there's like 8 people on now, so I'm just going to go through and just do the easy stuff first. And that is this weekend, I'm doing readings for 2 days, Friday and Saturday, in Southfield with the Enlightenment Expo that used to be in Ann Arbor. Okay? It's the largest expo in the state. There are thousands of people who come to this expo every single season. Okay? I'll be in the $50 room, 30 minutes for $50. I get booked up really quick. So you can pre-register if you want to. If you need the link, let me know. You can pre-sign up for tomorrow or for Saturday at 10 o'clock, 10:30, and also at 5 and 5:30 on. Oh, I'm sorry. Hang on. Sunday in the morning at 11, I believe we open, and then also at 5:30 on Sunday, the last reading of the day. Sign up for that too. So it's pretty good. It's an amazing expo. It's an amazing expo. Okay. So from that, I want to talk about element packages are still available on my website, billhobart.com. $10, $20, $30, and $40 a month. You get contact with me every single month, either via email. You get email and you get phone readings. Okay. So go on and check them out. It's got their own tab on the website, billhobart.com. People are really checking them out. Hey, Barb. People are really checking them out, right? They're starting to go, which is kind of cool. I'm trying to find my balance with all of it, right? Because I've never done anything like this before. I'm working on spiritual messages now. I haven't had a chance. Hey, cousin Patty. I have to talk to you, Patty. So maybe we can talk afterwards on the phone or something like that. So I'm trying to find my way with that. And Spirit and I are getting into the flow of spiritual messages, so I can send those out every week and stuff like that. There's been kind of a bump in the road, let's say, about the mentorship packages. My business partner and dear friend Terry Williams broke her hip last week, so she's in recovery for the next 90 days. And she's the one who puts everything together, okay? So there might be, hey, Abby, there might be a little bit of a delay in mentorship packages, but she says she doesn't think so. But she thinks she's Wonder Woman, which she pretty much is. So, okay. So got those out of the way. Yeah, element packages are there. Mentorship packages are coming. I'm trying to get them out before November because I want to have at least one Zoom meetup with everybody. There's going to be a 4-person package, right? Where there's 4 people in the same group. And then there's the advanced membership package, which is one-on-one with me for 5 weeks. Okay? That's awesome. Okay? So it's so we're trying to get that all stuff put together. But I'd like to get that done before Halloween so people can purchase them before the holiday, and then we can kind of have 1 or 2 meetings in November. Hey, Gina. And then we'll kind of do it during the Christmas holiday if everybody's into it. But the advanced membership, that's gonna be $1,000 for 5 weeks. But it's constant information with me. I mean, FaceTimes, in persons, whatever you want. Okay, that's gonna be really kind of cool because I can't wait to teach people one-on-one how I do what I do. Okay, so okay, so those are good. Okay, that's cool. Chimes are busting today. They're busted up. I mean, they're just ringing all day. There you go. Okay. So Spirit wants to talk about flow. Okay, and how you keep your flow. How to. And we've talked about this before. And what's always funny is that people will get to a certain point of flow, and then they retreat because they get scared. Okay, so it's about hey Kim, it's about having that understanding that you have to push through it, right? Because once you start to flow and your energy starts to flow because you've cleaned out your energy in your space, right? As much as you can. If you're married, if you have in-laws, if you have your mother and father, right? All that kind of stuff, that family dynamic stuff. Brothers and sisters and stuff like that, you can't really change that dynamic unless you limit it, right? And even at work, you have a boss, you have people around you, stuff like that, right? But it's all in how you keep yourself balanced and keep yourself in flow, right? And it's about understanding that yeah, Kimberly, flow. And again, it's about energy flow. It's about, hey, Christine, it's about understanding that that what you put out, you receive. And I will never forget, I did this many years in retail, was I would tell my employees, whatever store I was working in at the time for that day or that week, whatever it was, even my home store here in Michigan, that positive out gets positive back. Negative out gets negative back, okay? And we always have to be on the positive side of anything, right? We've all been sitting in a line waiting to be helped or something like that, and there's a crazy person in front of us who's screaming and hollering because their pizza wasn't right? Which is just pizza, no big deal, right? And we can sometimes absorb that energy, right? And then either snap at the person when, hey, Lori, snap at the person when we get to the counter because ours may not be perfect or whatever. When you're conscious of that, when you're conscious of that crazy person in front of you or behind you, right? Especially with what's going on in the world right now, pardon my language on this, the world right now is fucking crazy as fuck, okay? And I feel the energy is just, I just want to clean it all out. Hey, Grace. So if you're conscious of the fact that the energy around you, the energy from the world, the energy in the line at the grocery store, the energy at the line at the drugstore, right? If there's crazy people all around you or whatever, you can hear them conversating, that you block yourself from that, okay? So again, you can say this in your head so you don't look crazy. It's okay, Spirit, I need you to take care of this for me, okay? It's got to surround me. I do that before I go in any place. And I'm pretty confident that even if I don't, that Spirit's got my back because I believe that they always do, right? And I don't let my ego get involved with anything, very little anymore, right? Especially when it comes to being confident and things like that. I've always been that guy, but now it's reinforced with Spirit and my guardian angels and my spirit guides and again my higher self and all the other beings that are around us every day. That I, in the last 6 months or so, have actually interacted and understand now, right? And we all have them. My mom, my dad, my brother Carl, it passed. My grandfathers, again, they've come through, right? I mean, it's just the way it is. So Spirit has said, you have legions of them behind you, legions of them behind you, as all of us do, you guys. And Spirit gave me something probably 4 years ago that I said that he just came to me. I was in a meeting, and it wasn't really a meeting, it was like a meetup, right? And there was a girl that was having a conversation with the coordinator, and Spirit came out and said, "Well, she was apprehensive about doing what she was needed to do spiritually, right?" And Spirit said to her, "Have you looked at yourself in the mirror?" And she's went, "Well, what does that mean? Have you seen all the people behind you?" Right? All the people behind you that are dead. Right? From generations, right? You can only see back so far. But you can feel all the way back to eternity, Spirit says, right? And understanding that they've got your back. Don't let ego keep telling you that shit don't work. That's not true. You got to do this, right? Got to use your hand. Got to talk out loud, right? So to keep your flow going, it's about talking out loud, right? That's what you do. Talk out loud all day long, right? You have to. Because then when you go into the grocery store, or you go into the drugstore, or you go into the dry cleaners or anything else, right? If the energy in there is negative, you recognize it just like that. You go, ooh, it's bad in here, or whatever, right? Spirit will say to you, or your heart will like choke up. I go, okay, it's not good in here. Let's get it and go. Don't linger, okay? But the conversation with your spirit guides, your guardian angels, every day, you guys, it's crazy how many people do it. Again, they flow for 45 days, 50 days. Then they go back to the old behavior, right? And then they went, okay, how come I feel stuck? How come I feel stagnant? Well, my response will be, well, have you talked to your spirit guides, guardian angels every day? Well, no, I kind of stopped. I'm just doing it on and off. Well, there's the thing right there. Okay? Guys, you have to have flow. Because every single being on the planet needs to flow. Okay? Air signs need to flow because they're air. Water signs need to flow because they're water. Fire signs need to burn and burn, but what pushes them forward? The fire. Earth signs, like myself, I'm a Capricorn, we have to teach ourselves to loosen up our dirt. Hey, Normie, right? We have to learn how to flow. Loosen ourselves up. How do we do it? We go to the water, or we put our feet in the dirt, our hands in the dirt, right? That makes us feel balanced. Because what are we doing? I know, Spirit's laughing because he says, hey, Jessica, he says, once you crumple up the dirt, right, it's you as an earth sign. So air signs need to flow. Water signs need to flow. Fire signs need to flow. They need to move forward, backwards, right, to the side. It doesn't matter. But what pushes the fire forward? Yourself. See? But if you can do it in a controllable way, hey, Keisha, what element is Aquarius? That's air, Christine. That's air. Aquarians are very, very young souls. They like to have fun. Jessica says, I'm burning up. Oh, trust me. Yep. Okay. So again, that's part of flow, right? It's all about making sure that you are conscious of the fact that you need to flow forward. Never backwards. Forward, right? You need to make sure. Interesting. Spirit just gave this analogy, and I think I love it. If the toilet or the drain gets plugged, what do? You get the plunger, right? That makes sense? If I'm not flowing, I have to take the initiative to go, okay, I got to get the plunger. Meaning, I got to sit here and figure out, I need to talk to my guides every day, okay? I need to leave myself a reminder on my alarm clock, on my bathroom mirror. Have you talked to Spirit today? On the dashboard of your car, Spirit says. Great time to talk to spirit. Vent, right? They don't care. As long as you have a conversation with them, as long as you express how you feel, what you need, what you want brought to you, letting go of pain, letting go of anger, right? Because pain turns into anger. Emotions turn into anger when you don't let them go. Guess why? You need to flow, right? It's all tied up in flow. See? But what humans do, I don't want to show my emotions. Well, right? Because showing your emotions is flow. If you can do it appropriately, that's the key, right? You got to do it appropriately. You can't just outright scream in the middle of a store or in your house, in front of your kids or to your kids, right? That's not appropriate. You can't, you know? Spirit just said, bury your head on the bed and the pillow and scream. Stomp your feet. Wrap around on the bed, right? Doesn't matter. Just let it out. You need to let all the emotion that is negative out. So it can be filled with divine white light, right? Expel it. Spirit loves the word regurgitate. Regurgitate it. Just regurgitate it, right? Because then what gets replaced is goodness until the next round of BS starts to come up, right? Ready to expel again, ready to regurgitate again. Because it's going to happen constantly until you're clear enough to where you can understand that, okay, I know what that is in my gut, right? That you're conscious enough to know, okay, I know that's a bad situation right there. That energy is really bad. He's crazy. You know, her energy is horrible. I'm going to stay over here and I'm going to expect spirit to take care of me today. Could be at work, could be at the grocery store, could be at Marshall, I say Marshall Fields, that came out of nowhere, right? Macy's, Nordstrom, right? At any place, right? That's what it's all about. Because you have to. So Grace is on the way home from work. She kind of has diarrhea of the mouth. She lets it all out. My angels must be annoyed with me. They're never annoyed with you, Grace. Never. They're never annoyed with you. That's their job. Their job is to let you vent and understand that they process it, they let it go, and they get you a solution to that. Okay? Because everything has a solution. And Jessica says, I get called crazy all the time. Don't let people call you that. Because ego grabs hold of that, Jessica, and uses it against you. Don't let them say that to you. Okay? You don't say that to you. Never use the word crazy about yourself. Okay? Because ego grabs hold of that, and you don't think that it would, but you will believe that you are not able to succeed, that you are not able. That's just crazy that you think you can do that. That's just crazy that, of course I can. Stop that conversation in your freaking head, right? That word is not allowed when you're talking about yourself at all. And people should not be saying that to you at all. Even if they're kidding, right? No. Spirit just said, when people say that, Jessica, you might call it crazy. I call it eccentric. See? Because that's what it's all about. Just little words, right? A little word can trigger you. I'm telling you, ego is on the prowl for words to use against you. It is. You're born with it because it thinks it has to keep you alive when it doesn't. Okay? We're much smarter than we were 2,000, 4,000 years ago, right? Much smarter. Usually. Sometimes we have to ask ourselves about that, right? See? But to keep yourself flowing forward, to keep yourself going in the right direction, not allowing earthly things to stop you from participating in your life. Okay? Hi, Kathy. Right? You have to be focused and understanding and conscious enough to understand that I'm not going to let that derail me. Hey, Jessica. I'm not going to allow that to derail me. I still have to do that in the morning, and if I don't do it in the morning, when I remember that I didn't do it in the morning, Again, having that conversation, right? Setting my intention for the day, expressing my love, my affection, that I know that they're there, that I know they're going to take care of me, that I know that everything is great, and it's great because of them, right? Once you allow them to infiltrate your life and allow you to flow, right? Telling you what, you can notice a freaking disaster a mile long and go another direction. So just because it's an emotional, I'm not holding it in. No, don't hold. I tell you what, don't hold any emotion at all unless it's love. Okay? She says she cries a lot. Cry. Trust me. Crying is the best release of emotions ever. Good or bad. Good or bad. You know? I cry at happiness. I cry at love and things like that. I cry at music. Music just affects me, and I can just tear up. Emotion just swells up in my heart, and it has to come out, and it comes out in tears. In fact, one morning, Lee says, "Are you okay? What's wrong?" I said, "Nothing's wrong. I'm just so blessed with the fact that I can do this. My abilities are so amazing and help so many people that I just am so blessed and thankful that they trusted it in me." You know? A little bit of being humble there, right? But I have to let it out. When spirit hits me like that, I cannot hold it on. I cannot hold it in. It just doesn't work, you know. Because I was always faulted for being a crybaby when I was growing up. Okay, and so I learned to kind of hold it, but it made me angry, right? So cry, you know. Because I'm telling you what, it actually works, but it keeps you flowing, right? Because tears flow down your face. Say, and then you're being released to absorb divine white light. But they can only fill you so far, right? If you've got junk that you haven't regurgitated yet. And the tears are normally the sadness from not being able to release that, right? Grabbing a tennis racket and beating the pillows or the couch, like the pillows on the couch or something like that, and saying the crap you need to get out of your body works too. Pound the bed. Don't let anybody see you, because they'll think you're, wackadoodle. Unless they know what you're doing. Hi, Billy. And so it's super, super important, guys, to let that stuff out. To let that, and again, if you can't do it appropriately, then you get a therapist who you can do it with, and they can reflect back to you, they can mirror back to you why you feel like that. Because sometimes we don't understand. Trust me, I had 13 years of therapy with Stefan Fleck. I had to go to therapy, right? Because of all the stuff that happened to me as a child, right? Not a good childhood. I thought it was great as a kid, although I was scared from the time I was probably 5 years old, so maybe 6 years old, through my 20s. Early 20s, Wasn't fight or flight for me, it was flight. It was flight. Yep. Bullying, right? Energy that I didn't understand. Emotions I didn't understand. Again, being a skinny little gay boy in Jackson, Michigan in the 60s and 70s was not a pleasant experience. And I had a bully for a brother, who would flip on me like that. So, again, in protection mode all the time. See? So Jessica says, my kids are having big issues right now. Well, again, Jess, it comes from their environment. It comes from stuff. It comes from things not being balanced. And again, you can balance your children. It's not easy. But mom or dad has to be balanced too, or both of them at the same time. You got, again, if you have children that are having hard times, what better thing to say, okay, Spirit, I need your help. You need to help me with this. But you have to be available to accept that help, you guys. Right? You have to be. You have to be available to allow them to give you the information, to allow them to click on the DNA in your body that may be already there, right? With the knowledge that you need from past lives, from this lifetime, you don't really know. But if you won't allow them to work on you, if you don't allow them to come in through you, if you don't allow them the permission of having flow, right? They'll push you to the edge. They'll put you to the wall. And then you go, okay, what the hell's the wall about? My face is bloody. I don't know what's going on. And they go, got you. Got you. Got you, got you, got you. Got you. Then the wall comes down because they're all of a sudden asking for help. Okay? So Lori says, hers turns to anger. I understand that now, but didn't. But then he had no idea. So Jessica says, I ask every day. So Jessica, have you received information? Have you asked them to bring people into your life to help the kids? I don't know if you're divorced or if you're married. But those are things, again, that can make a huge difference, right? Because you can't give up. It's not fair. That's not why they picked you to be their mom or their dad, right? Super, super important. Again, with the flow, with the understanding, with understanding who you are and what you are and how and what are the things that are still trapped inside of me? What are the things that I'm not willing to look at yet? Right? What are the things that you know, why I'm not succeeding? Because I know it's me, right? Because again, every person's energy affects every person in your life. It does. Okay? So if you're not flowing, what you attract? Energy that doesn't allow you to flow. If you don't have balance, guess what happens? They bring you more imbalance. Right? Okay? I mean, that's super, super important. You know? Super, super important. Okay? Well, Jess, if you need information about that, you just send me a text. Okay? Because I know some pretty good people. Okay? Because now Spirit says also, flow brings you abundance. And abundance doesn't have to be money, right? It doesn't have to be money. It can be just abundance. Love, happiness. Hey, Emily. Right? Balanced energy. Right? People in your life who are there to support you, who are there to take care of you, who are there to make you feel wonderful, feeling loved, feeling protected, feeling appreciated. That's abundance. Okay? I mean, the money's good too, right? I mean, the money's awesome. Jessica, I don't know what EMDR is. Okay? So if you can shoot me a text or something, that will like a messenger text, that will be fine too. But flow brings you everything in your life that you actually need. Okay? But it's right place, right time, right? I mean, if they overloaded you with everything that they're going to give to you, that they're going to take away and give to you, hey Angela, your head would explode. You know, head would explode. Angela, you need to make that appointment, dear. Okay, again, everything starts with flow. Everything starts with flow. Okay, it's super, super important that people understand. Hey, Karen, that you can flow as much as you possibly can all the time, right? Understanding that they're always got your back. Just makes it easier for them when you are having a conversation with them every day, throughout the day. Okay? Again, when goodness happens, it's goodness happens, right? I mean, just little stupid stuff, right? Just little stupid stuff. Went to Bed Bath & Beyond today, and they have these 5 packs of toothbrushes that fit on my electric toothbrush, right? And I always get them on Rochester Road. Well, I decided to go to the one by the house here on M59 in Sterling Heights. And of course, didn't find them there. So then I decided to go to Rochester Road. I'm there. And again, I'm looking. I don't see them. And then all of a sudden, I look up on the very top hook, and the ones that I want are turned backwards, and I never would have seen them if I didn't have flow. Because I was getting kind of pissed off. Like, what the hell? Come on. They don't carry them anymore. Oh my God, I can't believe this. Because they're like $20 cheaper. Buying 5, right? And me, I'm on a budget right now. So it's like we got to make sure that we get to what we got to get, right? So there they are. If I wasn't in flow, you guys, I would have left angry. Or I would have bought a 2-pack for $3 less. Say, those types of things that they can bring to you when you're flowing and not inside your head, not living in ego, not living in anger, not living in hurt, not living in not understanding. Because guys, that's all part of the flow, right? Does it happen overnight like that? No. It takes time. But you'd be surprised how far along everybody that watches this Facebook Live is. Because you're watching the Facebook Live. You're not a dumb muggle who's not watching the Facebook Live. And if you don't know what a muggle is, watch Harry Potter. Okay? So again, you're drawn to something here, right? You're drawn to the energy, you're drawn to the information, you're drawn to the flow. And that's what it's all about. Is having you have the best life you can ever have this lifetime by being conscious of what you're feeling, being conscious of your surroundings, being conscious of the energy that is around you, that you allow around you. Not yelling at your children because you're frustrated, not hitting your children because you're frustrated, because all you're doing is putting on them what's put on you. That's not fair. That's not fair. I had a client yesterday who was like, "Oh my God, I'm doing that. I'm doing that to my children, and I cannot believe that I'm doing that to my children." Because they look at me with a scared look on their face, like, "Oh my God, mommy is upset." That's not what it should be, you guys. Not the way it should be. I see these children that are unruly, right? And the parents are angry, and they ignore them, and they act like a child. And they go, "I don't know why my child..." Really? You don't know why your child acts like that? Look in the frickin' mirror. She's always been like that. Well, because you've always been her mom. Yep, you are. You've always been her dad. You've always been the grandma. You've always been the grandpa. Because you guys know, I'll say this again, from the day you're born to the day you're 13, your ego tapes everything that happens in your life. And it's usually the bad stuff. Then at 13 or 14 years old, ego hits the play button. So for the next 70 years, you get to overcome all the bullshit that your ego taped for the first 13. Yep. So wouldn't it be much easier when you start to have children or have children now and you stop acting like that? Not getting anywhere. All your children are doing is mirroring you. They're mirroring your energy. They're mirroring the male energy in the house. They're mirroring the grandmother energy in the house or the grandfather energy in the house. They're mirroring the dysfunction. Because I know children who even at 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 years old are pleasant children, but their parents are pleasant also. They have what I call soft boundaries, right? They're just the bumpers on the road. Yeah. Allow their children to be who they're supposed to be. But there's rules, right? Right? And that's what it's all about, you guys. Hey, Darlene, that's what it's all about. Okay? I had a client that we were talking about, a stepchild moved in and he's a little bit grown and she couldn't get him to do the chores she needed him to do. And she was frustrated with that. Well, he's living in your house. You just have to make the point. Again, he was a young man who had been abused, okay? Mentally abused by screaming children, by screaming parents, I should say. And he was like 9 to 10 years old in his head. He wasn't grown. He wasn't a 22-year-old kid. He was 10, 12, right? So Spirit explained to her that, and Spirit said to her, you have to think of him like that. Because his father being upset with him, because doesn't have a clear vision of who he is, because he's 12. And I can attest to that, you guys. Okay? I would put on a suit for my job in the past 30 years, let's say. I would put on a beautiful suit and I would feel like I had my dad's suit on before therapy, right? Reason being, I was stuck at 13 years old when I had my first boyfriend, sexual boyfriend, and he was 17. We had together for 5 years. I was stuck at 13. Didn't know it till I went to therapy, right? Right? And as I went through my therapy, as I went through my process, I grew up. But you can't expect children who are late teenagers, early 20s to have the path all set up. It doesn't work like that because of what their ego taped in the first 13 years of their life. Christine, those are angel numbers 333. Your best bet is to just Google meaning of 333, and they'll give you maybe 5 or 6 different ones, and you can see which one resonates with you. Okay, but those are angels from your angels. So Christine says, everywhere I look lately, I see 33. I see 333. Okay, your angels, guides are trying to give you a conversation, trying to give you a message when you see the same numbers all the time. And how Spirit got me into it was he'd say, Bill, Google it. Google it. Google it. So I would. So much knowledge, right? And it would resonate with what I was going through at the time, or a question that I had earlier in the day, or a question I had yesterday, or a question I'm going to have later today or tomorrow. Okay? Yeah. So that's where your knowledge is. And when they give you those messages and you recognize them, that means you're one step closer to having that flow, because they trust you that you're gonna recognize them, because they're turning your head towards the clock. Yeah. See? So it's super important. Kind of cool. I didn't know that when I used to see the same numbers over and over again. Not even just multiples like 333. I mean, I see 847, I see 535, I see 811, and they all have different meanings, and they all fit my situation right now. I find that pretty freaking fascinating. You know, that they can help us with stuff, and I don't have to use my clairvoyancy, which is a bonus. Barb, you have me shaking and crying. What is wrong with me? Okay, so don't say what's wrong with me. There's nothing wrong with you. You're just releasing what's inside of you, Barb. Shaking and crying is your body releasing the energy that you're carrying. Okay? It's triggering you to release that stuff. That stuff. Okay? That's what happens. And I'm glad you're going through it right now, because that's what's so cool. Miss Poet, how are you? Yeah, see? So again, you can't expect your children to be these thought out people if they didn't grow up like that, right? Right? So think about that for yourself, for your children, right? Flow and balance is everything, guys. You can have anything in the world that you want if you are balanced, if you allow flow in your life. Allow your spirit guides and guardian angels to bring you abundance. Whatever you want, you can have. Truly. May not come like that, because you got to do the work. And that's one thing that people get frustrated with. Well, Bill, I'm doing, okay, are you still talking to your guides? Well, no. Hey, Don. Well, it all goes hand in hand, you guys. You have to talk to your spirit guides and guardian angels out loud every day, multiple times. How bad do you want it? Right? How bad do you want to feel that euphoric feel of, I'm freaking healed? Oh my gosh, I just saw that come and I didn't allow it to happen to me. I just recognized that energy and I pushed it away. I understand this energy that is close to me, that is my family or a good friend, and I had to go, okay, you got to go away, because I can't have you in my life anymore because you're way too negative. Now, if you'd like to change that and attempt to come back, bonus. But if you don't, my energy is clear. My energy is positive. My energy is pristine. See? Again, I had a client today walk into the house and goes, man, but your house is so like balanced and clean. Of course it is. It has to be. Or Bailey freaks out, right? Because Bailey's used to everything being balanced. Again, he is a submissive dog. When the energy isn't right, nope. Nope, nope, nope. On another point about balance and clarity and cleanliness, okay? I want everybody to stay clear of anybody who does witchcraft or black magic. Okay? Example. Last week on Friday, a friend of a friend brought a person into my house who was a witch. I didn't know she was a witch, right? She looked like a witch, but I didn't know she was a witch, right? So I give her messages from her partner who died, right? I cleared him enough to where he could ascend to spirit, and he turned into an 8-year-old little boy. Fascinating to me, right? What I do fascinates me. Because I never thought I could help somebody ascend, right? Oh, spirit had me do it, right? Prior to these people coming into my house, Bailey was up and jumping and having a good time, and he was a happy puppy on Friday. When they left, he wouldn't get out of the purple chair. Energy was like, okay, what the is this about? Because I didn't know she was a witch until halfway through the reading, right? Well, I can't really abandon it there, right? Well, the two people that she was with were petting the dog. So guess what into the dog? An entity got hold of Bailey, his energy. Yeah. Okay. I recognized it right off. Okay, there's something wrong. There's something going on. I kind of freaked out a little bit. I'll be honest. I freaked out a little bit. I'm like, okay, I've never done this before where I've really had to worry about things like that because I keep everything so pristine and clear. I don't let those people in my energy field. Hey, Janice, right? So called a friend, couldn't get in touch with her. Called another friend, couldn't get in touch with her. Called a friend that I met this year who had sent me this person, right? And she did a remote clearing of the house. And she said, yes, there was definitely something attached to Bailey. Something definitely attached to something in my house, and she cleared it. And as soon as she did it, I could feel, hey, Karen, or Carrie Ann, I could feel the energy change. Okay? So he wants me to be really, really frank with you guys. That shit is real. Okay? Do not associate with anybody who is into witchcraft or into black magic. And if there's anybody who watches this, please unfriend me. Do not follow me anymore. Okay? And I'm pushing that out to the universe and all the people that I care about, all the people that follow me on Facebook. I'm clearing all that energy from people. Okay? Because it's super, super important that you don't get infected with that stuff. And the young girl that brought her here, she didn't even realize any of that. She was naive, right? Can't be naive, you guys. Because that shit's real. And it's not good. Stay away from New Orleans, Louisiana. New Orleans is the place in North America that is nothing but demons and darkness and evil. Can't go there, have a good time, and come back, because guess what? Something's going to be on you. I don't care how protected you think you are. If you're pure and you want balance and you want a life that is going to, your guides, your spirit guides, your guardian angels, everybody can take care of you, stay away from New Orleans. It's just not a place to be. Okay? So again, being conscious, right? Had I known who she was, I would have not allowed her to come into my house. Would have done it on the phone. See? And interestingly enough, Spirit didn't tell me, and I know why he didn't tell me. Because I would have said no. But I needed to get her partner off the stairs to Spirit, right? Because the demons were attached to him. Yep. He wanted to go forward. He didn't know where he was. Didn't know what happened. Didn't know that he died. Didn't know anything. He just dropped dead. Okay? Didn't know. But the demons were hanging out of the back of his body and the back of his clothes and trying to pull him back down, not allowing him to move forward. See? So Spirit took care of that. He called in Archangel Michael and with his sword, and he cut the cords, and the cords grew right back. He cut the cords again, the cords grew right back. And in come Archangel Raphael and Archangel Gabriel on both sides of this man's soul, his spirit. And as Michael cut, they pulled him forward. As Michael cut, they pulled him forward. Until finally, I don't know how much time it was, because again, Spirit took care of that, right? I have no space and time when it comes to what I do. That's why I have to have my phone here so I can look at the clock, because he could talk all day, right? And they ascended him to Spirit. Archangel Raphael and Gabriel took him up the stairs, and he instantly turned into an 8-year-old little boy. And then he knew where he was at. Now again, that fascinates the hell out of me, because I've never done it before. But I needed her to be here for me to experience that, for me to know that I can do it, right? So not all bad things are horribly bad. They're there to teach you something, right? But you can't hang on to them. You can't, you know? I mean, I cleared this house in a massive, crazy way on that Saturday morning. Right? Myself. Just by getting emboldened. And that's what's awesome about being able to understand who you are and understand that everybody out there can clear their stuff, but they have to have the power of their archangels, of your guardian angels, your spirit guides, everybody behind you, right? With that energy that's flowing through you, and just pulverize anything that's in your space. That's powerful. That's powerful stuff, right? Sometimes I can do it. Sometimes I can't. Depends upon them. If I'm supposed to or not. Because I do that stuff every other day if I could, just to clear off the space. I'm kind of mental like that, right? I kind of like that energy clear. Yeah. Hey, Carrie, how are you? So it's super, super important, you guys, the connection with your guides. Talk out loud every day, right? Things are going to happen that are going to be quick and are going to be fast. You're going to be like, oh my God, I can't believe that happened, right? Okay? But then after that, you got to say, oh my gosh, thank you, Spirit. Thank you, Spirit, for that. That's fantastic. You know, again, if you win the lottery, if you find a $20 bill, if you get gas cheap that's on sale, right? If your child gets an A on a test, it doesn't really matter. It's all in what your in what your focus is and in what you want to have them bring to you. Does your happiness of your children make you happy? And the fact that they are able to be powerful and understand and understand who they are, and be able to go through life positive and in charge of their life and understanding who they are. That to me is something I wish my parents would have done, but they didn't know. That's what's so cool, to talk to people who are younger than me. I'm 59, so people in their late 20s, early in their 30s and their 40s who have kids. Bingo. Hey, Shannon, right? Because you can still affect your children's lives by changing the energy that you give to them, changing their outlook, again, be those bumpers on the side of the road. Don't have strict boundaries that no one can adhere to. But both parents have to be balanced, right? They both have to believe in the fact that I have the energy to change my child's life, to change my life. You know? I mean, honestly, that's what it's about. Is being able to understand how powerful every human being on the planet is. And for yourself, if you have kids, it's super, super important that you invest in that energy, invest in that power that you have over your children, the positive, the wonderful energy that you can bring in, and get rid of everything else. So when your child comes home from school and says, Mommy, Daddy, there's really bad energy at school. Okay, My child gets it and he's 7, right? He's 11. He's 15, right? My teacher has really bad energy, Mom, in algebra class. Oh, okay. So then, Johnny, what do you do about that? I need to protect myself before I go in, right? That's what it's all about. Teaching your children how to live healthy, balanced lives. And when they have something to get rid of, allow them to get rid of it without feeling stupid. Because all kids feel stupid. I'm telling you, adults feel stupid. They want to hold stuff in as kids. I remember, my parents didn't know that I was scared to go to school. Never told them. They never asked, right? My parents didn't know that I had a 17-year-old boyfriend when I was 13, having sex, right? Didn't know. Say, they didn't know that I was scared all the time. Didn't know. But they wondered where my anger came from. Guess where? See? Not being heard. Your children are the same exact way. And I don't blame my parents. I've forgiven them a long time ago. They just did the best that they could. But for us here now today, hey, Donna, we can change it. Hey, Amber, right? We have the ability to change our children's lives. Our lives. I mean, hell, so many people that are watching me now, they've got 40 or 50 years left of their lifetimes. Right? And oh my God, how much can you do in the next? That's a whole nother chapter of your life, like 2-3 chapters of your life. If you got 40 more years, if you're in your 40s, and if you're in your 30s, you got 50 more years, 55 more years. What the hell is that? Right? Had I known when I was 30 years old, instead of 59, right? Be 60 in 2 months, 3 months. Oh my God. My life would have been so much easier. But it wasn't supposed to be. I get that. But now I get to teach people through Facebook Lives and through readings and consultations, right? And through mentorship programs and through element packages, right? How to change their life and how to understand that they can have all the things they freaking want in your life, everything that you want in your life. But you have to invest in it. Hey, Amina, you have to invest in it, you guys. It's not going to come easy because guess what? From your childhood till now, what have you been infected with? What did you learn? Positive, negative, right? I would say probably either 50-50 or negative beats the positive. And you're surviving. Don't survive, you guys. Got to do more than survive. There's a reason why you're watching. There's a reason why you follow me, right? And it's not about readings and stuff like that at all. That's why I do Facebook Lives for nothing, right? That's not what it's about. And Spirit has told me many, many times in the past, it's about the message, Bill, not the money. And I totally agree. Totally agree. Because my job is to teach people how to have things that I couldn't dream of at 30 years old. I worked my ass off at 30 years old. And I'm proud of that, to get what I had, right? What little I had, but thought I was happy with my friends and I love doing stuff like that, So it's all about your investment. And that's what I do, Facebook Live Thursdays at 3, right? I invest in everybody who watches this. And usually be 300 and 600 people will watch this in the next week, right? And my whole goal is to touch a little bit of them. Get them to understand that you can change your life if you want to. Just by freaking talking out loud. And when people say to me, Bill, what should I say? Really? If you want them to be your best friends, guess what? Hey, what's up, Spirit? I need you to help me with this. I need you to do this. I need you to help me with this. And what the is this over here? What is that about? And guess what? Just by expelling it, answers will come, right? What the F is this? Will show its face. And you go, oh, that's what that is. Thank you, Spirit. Don't forget. Thank you, Spirit. Because they're making it happen. Because if it would have showed its ugly face and you didn't ask what F is that, you'd have been like, oh, okay, that's what that is. And you went right on your way. They need please and thank yous, right? They need appreciation. I'm telling you, that's what it's all about. Best friends, you guys. They got to be your best friends. When things stop flowing, when things stop like, boom. Okay, Spirit, what the hell? What's going on with the flow? It ain't going on. What is it? What's the deal? And do not say, what's my part in it being negative? No. Spirit, why does it feel like I'm not flowing anymore? Need you to help me with this. Need you to help me, Spirit. Hey, Jessica, right? Let them tell you. Give it to them. Let them show you and help you understand what it is. Could happen like that. Could happen in the dream that night. Could happen tomorrow. In a TV or a movie you've watched 100 times. I'm telling you, the messages are always there, guys, if you're conscious. And Spirit just gave me a scenario. You're sitting on the couch doing something, the kids are home from school, it's an afternoon after school, and they're yipping and yapping and screaming and hollering like kids are supposed to do, right? Because they're voicing, you don't want them to be quiet, right? And you're watching something on TV or something like that, and you start to get them and say, hey guys, hang on, I gotta get this. Or do you scream, stop, I need to hear this. What's you gonna do? Are you gonna increase the energy in the house by being negative? You're not gonna get the message, I will guarantee you. You'll have to rewind it on your channel controller, if you have Comcast, or Xfinity, whatever the hell it's called, right? You can go back and hear it again. I'm telling you, that's how it happens, guys. That's how it happens. I get messages from doing readings with clients. I'm in my space. I mean, I'm not even human. I'm just a vessel, right? I mean, especially now, I'm about 5,000 feet in the air. So when the conversation happens and things like that during a reading, if something sticks out, I go, oh, that's for me. Think. And then I go on. I don't even know what I heard, right? And I won't. But it triggers me as the human goes, oh, that's what that is. Oh, that's pretty awesome. How freaking cool is that? But I don't remember what it is. But I acknowledge it in my head to Spirit. See? Does that make sense? But flow. Talking. Having conversations. And I will tell you this. I met this guy on Saturday in Livonia. And it's so funny. Because I'm having this little back and forth with this little boy. He's probably 4 years old. Right? Hey, Kelly. He was probably 4 with his mom. And they're sitting along the wall. And everything he did, I did. Because I was not talking to anybody, right? He'd lift his hand up, I'd lift my hand up, you know. He'd wiggle his legs and his feet, and I'd wiggle my legs and my feet. So after about 5 or 10 minutes of that, this man walks up to me, and he says, how you doing? I said, good. He says, I'm drawn to you because of your interaction with the little boy. I said, oh, that's cool. He goes, but you probably can't get deep enough for me. I said, really? That's interesting. Oh, I can go deep. He goes, oh, you can never get as deep as I am. No one ever can. I said, okay. Do you want to sit or do you want to what? He sat down. So for 20 minutes, we talked about stuff that he was like blown away that Spirit had conversations with him about. He's like, you're the only person that I've ever run across in a holistic festival, whatever, who can actually match my energy and match what I understand and where I want to go with it. See? I blew his head. He sent me an email when he got out of he got in the car. He was and going to pick up his wife. They live in Shelby, just across on 59. He says, Bill, blah, 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 blah. And I sent him one back. I'm like, yeah, right. I said, you don't think it was by chance, do you? Nothing's by chance. Everything that happens in somebody's life is purposeful. See? I have a friend, Ryan, that I can go on journeys with, and it just blows my mind. And my soul is so happy to take these galactic journeys with him in conversations. And just, oh my God, it's just amazing. Just lightens me up. It just, oh my gosh, it's so wonderful. Because Bill's not in charge of that, baby. That's all Spirit. That's all Spirit. And it just gives me more punch and more power and more energy to continue to do what I'm doing. you know? So talk, guys. Talk to your spirit guides. Talk to your guardian angels. If you see flashes of light in front of your face, those are your fairies, and you need to acknowledge, Spirit, what's up with the fairies in front of my face? I'm telling you, the flashes of light in your face are your fairies trying to get your attention. Trying to get your attention. Okay? Super, super, super important. So, it's 4 o'clock. It was a quick hour. Again, I remind you that this weekend I will be in Southfield at the Pavilion with the Enlightenment Expo. It's going to be a huge, huge. The energy with this expo is massive. It's just so clean and clear, and just like you come in and just hit you like a ton of bricks, and it lifts you up. And that's Saturday and Sunday, 10 to 6 and 11 to 6. So that is awesome, awesome, awesome. So that is cool. Let me see. Yeah, Jessica, I'll see you on Saturday. And look at the element packages, guys. For $10 a month, you get a 50-minute phone reading, and you get one question by email, and you get an inspirational message every day, or every week, every week. That's for $10 a month. Okay? And then it goes, $20, $30, $40, you get more and more and more. The $40 a month, you get actually have conversations with me, unlimited. Okay? So it's pretty awesome. Pretty awesome. So BillHobart.com for those element packages. And yeah. So take care everybody. Thank you for watching, and have a good weekend. And I'll see you next Thursday at 3 for Coaching with the Soul. Thanks.